Footbap Nation!
Let's ride.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Fantasy Footbaps podcast. It's me, your host, B Dizzle, with my co-host, Paul. Paul, say what up to the fans at home.
What up, JDM fans?
We're coming in hot right after a Cleveland Cavaliers victory. First game of the season, first dub of the season. The boys are looking good. Evan Mobley took another step towards being a star. Paul, did you watch a second of the game?
I didn't watch a single second.
All right, honorary Cavs fan Paul couldn't even make it for opening night, but
Hey, someone, you guys had a vote and said I couldn't be a fan, so I watched AMC thriller movies all day today.
So because the vote was like 3-2 no, then you decided you weren't allowed back on the train.
That's my excuse, because I was stuck watching Final Destination. It's a classic.
Oh, Final Destination is actually those made me afraid to ride planes, ride roller coasters, ride behind trucks on the highway that have logs.
Yep.
Yeah, those are some classics. But Paul,
so I couldn't turn it off.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand. But Paul, we got to get to this episode. It's late. It's 10 p.m.
Yeah.
We're coming in hot with a late epi for you guys.
Yeah,
this is what we do for the fans.
I'm
no matter
about to
how
do this
busy
episode
we
from
are,
my bed.
we're gonna have to. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Lay in bed and record a little epi. All right, let's get into the last week's matchups. Paul, you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, first one we got up on here is, let's go to this because it looks like it was a shitty game. All right, Nick is now 5-2 as he beats Steve, who's now 4-3. Nick beats Steve by 40. This is kind of a crazy win. I think we somewhat called this, right? Or did we not?
I think so. I can't remember if it was like our over-under game or if it was our guarantee.
Yeah, I just remember either way. I mean, all-around performance from Nick. He loses Debo. Debo, like, did you even see what happened? He, like, came into the game sick, and then he, like, left and had to go to the hospital because he had pneumonia.
Like, immediately.
He had pneumonia, yeah. So it's like...
He got liquid in his lungs or some shit.
And Nick still put up 100 points. So Nick's team is looking prime and ready to go. And we got 2 points from Pop Douglas, too. But Kyron Williams scores 2 touchdowns every week. James Conner is just a solid option. Like, where he got James Conner, even in the draft, James Conner is one of those people that, Paul, I feel like me and you both would never pick because we just like going for younger guys and stuff, and we don't go for boring guys. But like, realistically, like, that was a really good pick. Because I mean, he's just gonna. It's actually a little bit disgusting of a pick though, because the Cardinals should not be doing what they're doing. Do you watch the Cardinals?
Yeah, it's very painful. I watched the Monday night game. It's just like very hard to watch. Their offense is pretty miserable.
It's like it's maybe the worst play calling in the entire NFL, actually. They're completely run heavy with James Conner, which is bizarre. And when you have Kyler and Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride and even Michael Wilson and like Greg Dortch, like, they have weapons. And no, they're extremely run heavy. They're like one of the highest like percentages of runs in like neutral game script. It's so that's already like gross. But even worse than that is their utilization of Marvin Harrison is like it's actually like criminal. They're essentially using him as a decoy. So they like use him to open things up for the rest of the offense.
Like Michael Wilson.
Yeah, which it's so bizarre. Why would you use your best option just as a decoy? It doesn't really make any sense. Like, that shit's kind of weird. I think that they're going to figure it out at some point. Like, I feel like they have to figure it out. Like, you can't have Kyler Murray and good receiving weapons and one of them being Marvin Harrison and a good tight end. Like, even having a good running back, like, they should be doing so much more than they are. But as of right now, they're just keeping things so simple that I think it's like actually hurting them. All that to say, it's definitely helping James Conner out because he's like basically the focal point of the offense, which is fucking crazy.
They give him his carries. I mean, unless you're getting blown out like Green Bay.
Yeah.
I think that wasn't close, but
I think James Conner got hurt in that game too. He got hurt and missed a lot. Yeah.
But the fact they keep winning means they won't change it. And if
I don't even think they keep winning. They're like 2-5.
They're like 4-3, I thought.
All right, let's check. I think they are 3-4.
3-4.
Because they're 3-4 because I thought they were going to lose to the Chargers, which is why I had 2-5 in my mind, and then I remember they had that game-winning field goal. As for Steve's team, are we worried about Kamara at all? He had a hot start.
A little bit. I mean, the whole Saints team is just falling apart.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough to judge there. But he did play Denver, so
True.
could just be a
Oh
bad
man, he's
matchup.
got a Carolina matchup.
Oh
Has he
shit.
already played Carolina? Oh, he already played Carolina once. No, I was gonna say that'd be clutch if you had him later in the year. Mike Evans
But
got
Kyle
hurt.
Pitts,
Mike
yeah,
Evans
oh
got hurt
yeah,
in that
that's a big
game.
one. That's a big one. That's week to week. Might be out till after their bye, which is after week. That's 4 weeks without Mike Evans. Steve's gonna have to survive. So
Steve's actually you brought up Kyle Pitts. Steve's actually swimming in the tight end production right now because Kyle Pitts has done well the last few weeks, and then same with Tucker Crap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Yep,
guess
he's just got to
Tucker
have the
had 2
funny,
points.
the tough call every week of who to decide or who's gonna start.
If Steve made a different decision with Anthony Richardson, he took Anthony Richardson in the 6th.
And you could have Godwin. Well,
His
I mean,
team,
Godwin.
now he's injured, but if he loves Brian Robinson, so I bet he probably would have went Brian Robinson there. But even like Montgomery, oh my gosh, he picked Kyle Pitts over Montgomery. That's actually kind of shocking. I didn't realize that either. Regardless, though, it's a weird time in fantasy football. Like, there's not a lot of production going around. Quarterbacks aren't playing that well, but like, as much as I wasn't a Richardson believer in terms of I didn't want to take him in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round, like I would have been okay taking him in like the 9th or 10th with Jaden Daniels, but I would have never guessed he'd be as bad as he has
especially
been.
after week 1. Like, he just completely fell off.
He had 14 carries and he still didn't reach 10 fantasy points as a quarterback. That's actually pretty absurd. Do you? We'll. I don't want to drag things out any longer, but rank. We're gonna do this for every team. Rank Nick's team scale of 1 to 10.
I'd say he's a 8.5. I gotta put the half in there because I don't want to say a 9, but I'd say he's definitely top tier, but Debo with on and off injuries tough, and his flex spot is nearly dead with no Nico. So until Nico comes back, I'll give him an 8.5.
Yeah, I'll give him a. Yeah, that is true. I kind of like Pop Douglas though. I know he didn't do good this week, but I feel like he'll catch 6 passes for 50 yards a lot of weeks. He's got the Jets. All right, I'll go 8.5. I actually agree with you. I was gonna go 9, 8.5 though. I like Nick's team, and now Steve's team. What are you giving it?
Well, now Mike Evans is hurt. It's a tough call. I'd give it an 8. Is what I'd go with right now.
Yeah, because I'm assuming CD at some point is going to get it going. I mean, he had a bye, but he hasn't been great. And then I don't know what to think of DeAndre Swift. I didn't like him coming into the year. Now he's been good these last weeks. I guess he's good. Like, so that's kind of.
He was so close to like losing his job, and then now
I know they were like, yeah, Roshan's going to be our one, and then they like. That was the game that Swift like opened up the game with like a big touchdown run or something, and then it was like, oh, okay, I guess he's. Now that's over. Yeah, I'll go Steve. A Geno Smith at QB with no DK though is kind of tough now.
He got. Oh no, he doesn't. We'll touch that later.
Okay. Either way though, that was Nick beating Steve. Next game right here, a lot of boring games this week. Off the top of my head,
we got one great one. That's
we'll save that one for last. Gorman beats Dewey 125 to 81, so beats him handedly by about 45 points. Shout out to Gorman. When he picked up Drake May to play against Jacksonville, I was like, this is a good pickup. Like, Jacksonville's defense sucks. Like, that was
and Drake May does look good. Like, he hasn't had a bad game yet.
Drake May has looked good too. I don't know why they weren't starting him all year, to be honest, because you know what Jacoby Brissett is. In Dewey's defense, Jaden Daniels got hurt decently early, so Jaden Daniels probably would have scored 20 more points, but Dewey still would have lost either way.
Monty got hurt like for a little bit, but then he came back.
Monty got hurt too. So yeah, this was a tough game for Dew, man. There's not much he could have done though with those injuries happening. Gorman actually did. The madman himself started Nick Chubb in his first game back off of destroying his knee. That was ballsy. I thought he was going to go Bucky Irving, but I mean, at the same time, he got 10 points from Chubb, so it's whatever. Saquon,
Didn't
go ahead.
does Chubb over Aaron Jones too,
Oh
which
yeah,
had
wait, that's who
19.
it was. I was gonna say there was someone I remember being like, why did he do that? It was fucking Aaron Jones. I
Mhm.
thought he was gonna start Aaron Jones. I did start think Bucky Irving too. Like Gorman's got some running backs here, but not many wide receivers. But maybe that'll change. Well, you'll have to wait and see, Footbap Nation, because DK Metcalf got hurt for Gorman in this one too, which means DK actually had 18 fantasy points in like the first half of that game because he
Yeah,
missed like the whole
that's
second
fucking
half.
crazy.
Did you know Amari Cooper? Okay, Amari Cooper had 5 targets, 4 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Guess how many routes he ran in that game?
15.
9. He ran 9 routes, and
Oh wow.
somehow only running 9 routes, he went for 66 yards and a touchdown. So that was crazy. Saquon keeps getting his every week for Gorman. I guess he didn't against the Browns, but that's like whatever. But when they feed him, like it pays off. And Derrick Henry was having like a piss class, and then he had a fucking
Like 70-yard run or some
yeah,
bullshit.
and then he caught a touchdown. So it was like. Yeah, at halftime, I think he had like 3, and then he ends with 25, which I thought I was going to win highest scorer, and then that whole sequence played out, and I think he got highest scorer by like a few points on me. So Gorman's team, I am worried about Sam Laporta. Gorman's team, as it stands right now, scale 1 to 10, what would you rank him?
I'd give him a 9. 9, maybe a 9. Well, quarterback could improve. I mean, Caleb Williams is doing great.
Mm-hmm.
A 9.25.
Okay, I'm not getting that specific, so I will go 9. And basically, I'm worried about Laporta. And now that DK's hurt, I'm a little worried about that. But again, things might change there. But I'm still giving it a 9 out of 10. I'm only slightly worried about Caleb Williams just because he had those 2 good games, but it was against the 2 worst defenses in the NFL. So I'm like, shit, what should I think about that? But I mean, he gets Washington and Arizona up next, so he'll be fine there. Now, Dewey's team, scale of 1 to 10, go.
Dewey? I might go.
I'm
We
going
thought
9.
it was great. I was gonna say 8.5 because Devontae Adams. We still don't know what could happen there. It could be
Yeah.
awesome. It could be horrible. So
I think it
really
was
just
his
falls on
first
that.
week, and I think he'll have a good week this next week. 9 targets last week. He just didn't pan out. I think he'll be
Yeah,
fine.
but his starting lineup's great, and with Waddle back, it's definitely
Yeah, he can just put
nowhere to go
Waddle
but
in
up.
for Devontae if he really wanted to. But yeah, I think 9 and 9 out of 10 is what I'm going. You're going 9.25 for Gorman and an 8.5 for Dewman.
I'll up it to a 9.
Okay. All right. This game close at any point? You beat Dave by
Not
about
really.
20. Okay, so nothing interesting really in terms of like it was close at any point. Starting JMO against the Vikings defense, Paul, that was kind of crazy when you had Javonte against the Saints.
That's because Javonte played on Thursday, and I wasn't sure what I was doing yet.
Yeah, I guess when it comes down to it, if you're ever
I hate Thursday
50-50
games.
on a guy and he plays on Thursday, you just don't play him. That's how I feel. Although I will say
Yeah.
that fucked me week 1 against you because I had Xavier Worthy get 20 points and whoever I put in got like 0.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it works out in your favor.
Yeah, but JMO, the Vikings pass defense has given up the 30th or 31st most, or like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I
They're
see
like
what you're
low
yeah.
ranked. And he's the home run ball or nothing. And I just hoped that they would get one of those, and it didn't happen.
Paul, this is so the only thing I will say is I'm
32 now.
I'm I'm calling slightly Mickey on the 32 rank. The same thing I was saying with the Ravens being ranked really low, where they go up by a shit ton and then just kind of give up a bunch of passes. That's like also the Vikings. Think about it. They were up 28-0 on the Packers, 57 fantasy points. They were up by like 20 on the Jets, 38 fantasy points. Now this week, I mean, they're playing the Lions. I feel like that's respectable to.
Yeah, I was
give
just
up that
hoping for
much.
that 60-yard touchdown to happen. I didn't really expect anything else.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just like don't know what to think about because I think the Vikings have a good defense, and it blows my mind that they're ranked so low on that, and I think that is why. But at the same time, like you said, if you were 50, I guess I was just so confident that the Saints wouldn't do anything. I definitely didn't think Javonte was going to score 25, but I thought that he was going to be safe for like, I thought he'd have like 12 carries for like 50 yards and like 3 catches for maybe like 25 yards and like maybe a touchdown. And I'd be like, all right. But yeah, if you were just I guess the other thing is too is like you're going against Dave, so I thought you'd be like, let me play it safe and just pick a guy that's gonna score points. Like JMO is who I would play if I was like I'm playing a team. Yeah, I'm playing a team and I have to have a guy go big.
The funny thing also with this is Mark Andrews popping off lately, and I haven't
on your
started him yet.
bench. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been past 3 weeks pretty solid.
Dave just keeps getting it done. He's got Kate on that tight end now, Cole Kmet. Like Dave moved out for Mark Andrews, but he's still.
Yeah, he also he just made the wrong choices clear with Rashad and Pickens, and Malik Neighbors did really nothing. Tyreek, of course, is nothing with.
This is actually a good call out by you. So you beat Dave by 17 points. This was the first week Dave benched Rashad White and George Pickens. He had played them every single week. So he benches George Pickens. I mean, he played Tyreek. I guess was he just playing Tyreek because he's Tyreek? I guess he had 9 points. Either way, let's say he put Pickens in over. Well, I don't know who was he.
Addison. I thought Addison for sure.
Yeah, Addison for sure, but like I don't know who he'd bench out of Dobbins or Tyreek. Either way, though, I think if he played the right guys, he might have actually won this. Rashad gets 26 and Pickens 20, like the first time all year he benched them. So that's a tough L for Dave, and he's 1-6 now. But this was a game he actually could have won, and it could have maybe turned his season around. Also, shout out to Dave for the Bo Nix start. I thought that was also. Great. He only got 14.
I was a little afraid of that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. I thought that was a sneaky good.
It's just because Javonte took 2 touchdowns. If he had, those 2 passing touchdowns, it would have been a great game.
True. Either way, Paul, you're 5-2. Josh Allen panic meter scale of 1 to 10.
1. He's coming back. 2 weeks in a row of plus 20. I'm happy.
And I heard you were pretty stoked about Monty's injury. Jahmyr Gibbs gets you 30 points.
I was howling and standing and clapping my hands, very excited when I saw Monty go down. Ryan was a witness, so I was pretty upset when he came back in the game. But Gibbs got it done, so we'll take it.
All right, next game. Let's do me versus Kyle. This was actually decently close. So I end up beating Kyle by 25, but for the most part we were like neck and neck. Actually, that's not even really all that true. I was kind of killing Kyle, and then Jalen Hurts scored 2 tush pushes in like an 8-minute span, and I think Joe Mixon at that point scored his second touchdown of the game, and that might have been it. It basically he got like 3 touchdowns in like a 5-minute span that went from like me being projected to beat him by like 20 to like us being the same. But then that Ken Walker, he caught a touchdown, and that was almost like that kind of made me pull away. It started off good on Thursday night. I got 21 points from the Broncos, and I thought I was like, man, I got a major defensive advantage. Let's go. And then the 1:00 games rolled around. The Bengals returned the first kick for a touchdown, and I was like, oh shit. Like now he's got 6 points, a defensive touchdown from his defense. Like now this is actually going to be like a game. But Tank Dell had 0 points. I mean,
Stroud, that's the biggest shocker.
Stroud threw for like 80 yards. It doesn't matter who Kyle would have played, but when he did put Ramondre in against Jacksonville, I was actually pretty stoked about that. Not because the Jaguars are a bad defense, but because Ramondre like hadn't been practicing all week and was like super limited. And so I assumed he wasn't going to like get that many touches. And that's basically what happened. I want to see like, I want to see if like, Oh, I want to see if the snap counts were down, but definitely like the touches were down. Like he was kind of like barely in that game. Let's see. I guess he was still on 50%, but it was, man, his snaps have gone way down over these weeks. Ramondre, that's maybe like a scary thing for Kyle. If Ramondre's like just not getting touches and snaps anymore, that could really hurt him.
Yeah, he could be in the market for Jordan Mason.
Oh, maybe I'll have to make a call. This was the first week I finally benched Ayuk. I worked out ? Because Chase Brown got me 6 points, so I guess like he got me 3 more points than Ayuk. But Ayuk tore his ACL; he's out for the season. Oh man! Speaking of how we said if you have a guy on Thursday night and you're unsure, don't play him. That's how I felt about the London game and Tank Bigsby, and I was gonna be so pissed. He got 24. Basically, my logic going into it was if the Jaguars aren't up double digits, then Tank Bigsby isn't going to play and therefore like not going to get touches. And I was right at first. When they were down by 10 early, it was all Dearness Johnston. And then they took the lead and shit. And then Tank Bigsby had 17 carries for like 82 yards and a touchdown in the second half when the Jaguars ran it like 20 plays in a row at one point. It was pretty fucking crazy. So I was going to be so pissed if I lost that because I didn't play Tank Bigsby. And it's one of those things where if it just wasn't the stupid fucking London game, I would have played him because it would have been 1 p.m. and I wouldn't have felt like it's something about those Thursday night in London games, dude. I've been burned so many times by playing guys and weird shit happens in those games, dude. So
I agree. I always don't feel comfortable putting someone in from those games.
I can't believe Garrett Wilson got 10 points. He like didn't really do much. Either way, anything else to take from this one, Paul?
I'm just jealous that Brock Bowers is continuing to be top tight end. Easy start every week.
That is that's another super tough one for me was
Jerry Jeudy before him.
That's actually hysterical.
But I had Evan Ingram.
Yeah, exactly.
I figured.
I get that. Yeah, that's two things that, man, there's so many regrets I have. One was listening to McVay about Kyron Williams and not drafting him. That would have been, if I had Kyron Williams, if I had Kyron Williams, I think I already calculated I would have been 5-2 right now. But the other thing was not taking Terry and taking Kyler, which meant not taking Daniels in the 10th, but also not taking Brock Bowers because that was another one where I think I wouldn't have gotten him because I was actually aiming to get Bowers in like the 11th. But man, there's so many. It's crazy how you can look back at like all your mistakes drafting and you're like, fuck, dude, if I just would have done this one thing differently. Like, and it's kind of funny looking back at round 4 where like I took Ayuk, like Kelsey sucks. Debo's missed a shit ton of games. Lamar would have been a good pick, but I don't know if I would have taken Lamar in the 4th. Like, I don't think
they're fucking horrible.
Yeah, Waddle. I mean, Diggs was good, but I don't think I would have taken Diggs. Andrews, maybe he's coming around. DJ's been bad. Rashee Rice is hurt. Like, round 4 was fucking ass, dude. Holy shit. So I don't think there was like any winning there. Kupp got hurt. Man, I wish it would have been really nice if I would have gotten DK, had him dropped me. But yeah, either way, I thought Tony Pollard was gonna have a better game for Kyle. Regardless, Kyle is 4-3. I'm 3-4 now. Next matchup here. This was a pretty big matchup too. This was actually a fucking roller coaster on Monday night.
Yeah, this was actually closer than it may seem.
Yeah, Chip wins by 20, but Chip went into that Monday night probably projected to win by like.
I think it was. Ryan kept talking about the percentages. I think he had an 11% chance to win.
Yeah,
so it's pretty good favor in Chip.
Yeah, and so we talked earlier about the garbage time Buccaneers Baker against the Ravens defense. That's pretty much what this came down to. So Chip had it basically. He had the game locked up. The end of the first half comes around. Lad McConkey has 0 points for him. Baker, I think, had like 5 points even going into like the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
Yeah, he had like nothing.
and Lamar at that point already had like 34 points. So it had went from like a clear win to Chip to like Ryan actually jumped and went up by a few points, and it was like holy shit, like it's actually over. Um because Ryan also had Marvin Harrison playing, so it was like if he does anything, which it didn't matter. Ryan ends up losing by 20. But yeah, Baker scored like 22 fantasy points in like an 8-minute game span. Like they went down the field, scored a touchdown. I think they got a stop, went down the field, scored a touchdown. They got an onside kick. Did he throw 4 touchdowns? So 3. So it must have been he drove down the field, scored a touchdown. They got the onside kick. He drove down the field, scored a touchdown. And then Lad McConkey ended up catching a few balls there. And Marvin didn't do anything. And Lamar didn't do anything, obviously, because they were up by like 30 points. But yeah, it was way closer than it looked. Chip, the percentages went from Chip like 90% to win to when Ryan went up by 3, it was like Ryan 90% chance to win because I was watching it. Like the ESPN percent chance to win shit is just fucking stupid. At the end of the day, yeah, like at the end of the day, because the fact that Ryan being up 3 when they both have 2 players left and that was 90% Ryan to win, that was fucking stupid. But yeah, this was way closer than it seemed. Poor Chip, he loses Godwin for the year. Chip saved his season with that trade. Breece Hall's been tearing it up for him. Chris Godwin had been. Baker's been tearing it up for him. Chip saved his season with that trade. It's tough to see Godwin go out, but like he still has a chance even without Godwin. Great trade. Yeah, he still destroyed that trade. Like that was great. Devontae Smith gets Ryan nothing. This is actually we're gonna have to keep things consistent here. We made fun of Steve because he only put up 90 points when Kamara got him 40. Ryan only put up 80 points when Lamar Jackson gets him 40. So it's the
other thing, the Mostert stat line. I gotta defend Ryan. He asked me to, honestly.
Okay, but, let's hear the.
When we were watching Red Zone together, and Mostert did get like 5 red zone carries,
and he got stuffed on all.
And he was like it was from like 8 or 9 yards out. We get down to like the 2-yard line, then they do some other shit and not give it to him. But also, I think it was like the third quarter, maybe towards the end of the game, Mostert fumbled, and then they just put Jalen Warren in. Yeah.
Jalen Warren in. The Dolphins traded for Jalen Warren. Jalen Wright?
Jalen Wright. That's what I meant. I say that every time, I think. But Mostert easily could add a touchdown. He fumbled the bag a bit. But Smith doing him wrong. Harrison.
Yeah, the Smith thing makes me sick to my stomach because he ends with 0.3, and it was just last week where he had 2 catches for like 10 yards, and then he caught that 50-yard touchdown against the Browns, and Ryan beat me by like 2 or 3 points. So I'm like, wow, okay, so last week he catches a fucking 50-yard touchdown off of like a 3-yard pass, but not this week. So that's so obnoxious. Like thinking about it, because I am 3-4. That one loss, because I think I'm like the 4th highest scorer. That one loss, like I'm 3-4 right now, and I think I'm in like 10th place. And if I was 4-3, I would be in like 4th or 5th. So like that one game is gonna haunt me forever, especially because my schedule just keeps being hard. I'm like, I really had a fucking chance last week, dude. I'm pissed about that. Of course, Smith gets 0 points this week. -5 points from the Jets against Pittsburgh is fucking hilarious.
I was gonna laugh if like it came down to Chip winning by 5 or less. That would have been even better.
Yeah, that would have been fucking hilarious. Yeah, Chip 4-3, back from the dead. Season looked dead. No, it was not. And now this. The game of the week. I mean, if you look at the score, it's actually like a massive piss class. Yeah. But Mikey B, congratulations, Michael. You have won your first fantasy football game. Mike beats Austin by 2 points. On Monday night, Austin had Zay Flowers and Trey McBride. And
he's done 11, I think, was the total. Or no, because they got 11 almost.
Yeah,
I don't know what well, pretty much, you know.
he needed like 13 or 14 points out of Zay Flowers and Trey McBride. Trey gets him 7, but Zay Flowers only gets 3.5. Zay Flowers got hurt in the game. So Zay Flowers gets hurt. I don't know if he came back in. I think Austin said he came back in but was like limping, so he like wasn't 100%. Man, Austin came into this. He said he had free wins over Chip and Dave and Mike. He should have probably lost to Chip, or he almost lost to Chip. I think he only won by like a few points. Now he loses to Mike. We'll see if the gamble pays off because Austin is 2-5. He's not out of it by any means, but a brutal loss. I've been talking about it every week. I've talked about it to Austin, where I'm annoyed that we're at this point in the season and everyone's been spotted at least one free win against Mike or Dave. Some people have played both and they have 2 free wins, and I still haven't gotten a crack at them. So like, that's a tough one for Austin because as much as I'm like, I want to fucking play them and get free wins, even worse than not playing them and losing to people is to play them and lose to them, you know, because it's like, wow, that was supposed to be my free win. Now, I've also talked about it on the show before. I don't even have any free wins because by the time I play Mike, it's like week 13. He'll have Pacheco and shit back, and his team won't be total ass. And then when I play Dave, I think Tua is already back. You know, Neighbors is healthy. He's got a bunch of like pieces coming together by that point. So I don't even get a free win. But this one was one you have to win, Paul. I'm gonna be honest.
And also I'd like to point out, Austin went to the game. He was asking me if he should get a Jerry Jeudy jersey. He was fully bought into the hype because he, I don't know if I rubbed off on him or what, but he picked him up when I dropped Jeudy, and he throws him in the lineup right away. I respect it because Cooper's gone.
And
but
Cincinnati's
Jeudy,
defense is like one of the worst in the NFL.
Yeah, I just think that Jerry Jeudy just sucks ass, and it's official now. So.
Well, trust me, I've been on that train for a while now. On the Jerry Jeudy sucks ass train.
Yeah, he had like a couple drops that were just horrible, like in that game, and that could have won Austin the week. He lost by 2. Like one of those drops was definitely at least 15 yards. That was right through his hands.
That sounds like a Jerry Jeudy special to me, dropping easy passes.
Yeah. So I mean, Austin, if you're listening, I love to support Jerry Jeudy, but after seeing this performance, I don't know if I can continue. It's too hard. So yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's single digit points from everyone but Jordan Love and Brian Robinson. It's not great. I mean, Mike's sneaky pickup with Alexander Madison because he's gotten him points, which is like good.
I mean, it is big brain to. Because Zamir is, for some reason, projected more slightly than Madison, and he's not falling for
Mike isn't falling for the projections at all. Yeah, Mike's doing a good job with that. I mean, if he listened to the projections, he would have lost. So, yeah, that's huge. You know, crushing loss for Austin, but
Kelsey back down to shit. I guess it's just maybe a bad game.
Yeah, I don't know what to think. I thought that he was just going to take over Rashi's targets. That was going to be it. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what to think at all. Yeah. Let's get to the standings. So first place in the East is Nick at 5-2. Second place is Paul at 5-2. Third place is Gorman at 4-3. Fourth place is Chip at 4-3. Fifth place is me at 3-4, and sixth place is Austin at 2-5. We go to the West. Number 1 seed is Ryan at 5-2. Steve is number 2 at 4-3. Number 3 is Kyle at 4-3. Number 4 is Dewey at 4-3. And then we have fifth place Dave 1-6, and sixth place Mike 1-6. Highest scorer is Gorman on the year. He just had another big week. That 160 week for him. Someone's going to have one of those, or else Gorman's just going to win highest points of the year. It's either going to be someone has to have a 150-point week, or Gorman's going to have to really fall apart because he's currently the runaway favorite here. Highest scored on is Dave. Poor Dave, dude. Lowest scored on is still Ryan, but he's catching up to Nick, actually. So Nick and Ryan are like kind of hovering around Mickey
Nick
tier right
taking
now.
the Mickey crown, perhaps.
Could be. I want to see. Yeah, so Ryan, yeah, he's right up there. All right. In terms of the record, so we still only play division games, right? Or am I going crazy? No. How many weeks
There's
into the
one.
season are we?
We're
7 weeks.
yeah, we've had one game. So I just played Kyle. Or no, I played Kyle last week, the week before. So
I think we're 2 weeks out of because I played Kyle. Who the fuck else did I play? Oh, Ryan. Ryan was out of division. All right. Either way, so the division standings are still the same, but home, Austin is 0-3 at home. Gorman is still 0-3 at home. All three of Gorman's losses coming at home, which is wild. Best home records, Paul. Chip also 3-1. Great job, guys. Gorman is the road dog, but also so is Steve. And also, how did Steve get 5 home games to start the year? Steve
what is this
2-0
favorable
at home.
schedule?
Yeah, that's garbage. But Gorman 4-0 on the road. I mean, he's a road
That's
dog
huge.
through and through. That's winning games on the road, extremely important. Dave is 0-4 on the road, and Austin is 0-2 on the road. And then let's go to streaks. The longest streak, win or loss, is Dave, losing 4 games in a row. Dewey's streak ended. Dewey had won 3 in a row, or like 4 in a row or something.
Because he was 0-2 to start.
Yeah, so Dewey was on a 4-game win streak before that. And it's still Paul at the top, most moves made. Let's check the
Kyle's
playoff
catching up,
bracket.
dude.
Yeah,
Kyle makes a lot of moves.
Yeah, Kyle is making moves this year. Playoff bracket. Ryan is the 1 seed with a bye. Has that been the same thing every week? I feel like it has.
I think so. Yeah, Ryan's always been number 1.
Ryan is in a bye. We're gonna have to go back and see how many weeks he was projected to have a bye. If he doesn't get the bye, because I think that he's been here for like 4 weeks in a row now. But he's the 1 seed. Number 2 seed is Nick playing number 7 seed Dewbag if the playoffs started today. That's a good matchup. Number 3 Paul versus number 6 Kyle, the battle of the most waiver claims. And then number 4 Gorman against number 5 Steve. As for losers, even with the loss, Mike is still getting a bye as the number 12 seed. Number 10 Austin would play number 11 Dave. That would be a good matchup after Austin shit-talked Dave's team to oblivion the other week. And then number 8 Chip versus number 9 me. We'll look at the standings as it stands right now. ESPN, or the power rankings. ESPN has Paul projected as...
Ooh.
Yeah, Paul's moved up to the 1. Nick 2. Ryan 3, Dewey 4, Gorman 5, Steve 6, Kyle 7. So Kyle's dropped a bit. Chip 8, he's moved up. Me 9, Austin 10, Dave 11, Mike 12. And then we'll just head over to the weekly power rankings graph. The biggest jump this week was Gorman moving from 7 to 5. The biggest drops, there were 2 big drops actually. Tied for the biggest drops were Ryan dropping from the 1 seed dropping from the projected 1st overall to the 3rd, and then let's see, who is that? Dewey. It is Dewey dropping from 2 to 4.
Yeah,
so
we thought Dewey was gonna jump to the 1 spot.
You're right. He was on that course. You see the graph now. He went all the way up, then dropped. Ryan climbed up 1-1, 3-1-3. They never think he's going to be 2 for some reason. Yeah. Gorman still is just all over the place here, following his trajectory. Chip, he moved up. He went from 5 to 1, and then he dropped all the way down to 10. Now he's back up to 8 these last couple weeks, so he's doing his thing.
Crazy ride.
Yeah, and Mike and Dave are consistently staying at. Mike's been 12 since week 3, and Dave's been 11 since week 5. So at least they're consistent there. Steve is going a little crazy. He was as high as 2 in week 2. After week 2, he dropped to 7 in 1 week, which is bizarre. Then he jumped to all the way up to 2 again. Now he's dropped all the way to 6. So Steve's just on a crazy path right now. And meanwhile, Kyle, who we think his team looks like decent, I'm pretty sure, off the top of my head, fantasy football doesn't think that at all. They dropped him all the way to 6, 7. They're keeping him in that range.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for me, I tried making a jump up. I dropped back. I'm just perpetually stuck between like 9 and 10 unless I win like multiple games in a row. I think that's just how it's going to stay. Now we're going to go back to the segment that we talked about before doing, which is reading some of the excerpts from this week's ESPN app that they send to us. The first one is a commentary on me versus Kyle. In an unfortunate series of events, Kyle lost a narrow battle to Brandon. Kyle scored the most points of any team in a loss, ending up on the wrong side of 125 to 99. If Tank Dell, who scored 0, had a better performance than just 0 points, they say it in there, they may have been able to squeak out a win. Fuck you, Tank. If Tank Dell would have had to score 26 points, fuck you, ESPN. Oh my God, I read this as fucked, but they said lucked. On the flip side, so this is a commentary on Mike and Austin's matchup. On the flip side, sorry, Austin. Oh, okay, that's Mike. Sorry, this is confusing because Mike has Austin's name in his team name. On the flip side, Mike lucked out beating Austin. Mike scored the lowest amount of points in a win this week, probably also on the season. Looking ahead to next week, hopefully Kyle and Austin can get back on the winning side of things as they match up against Nick and Dave, respectively. What a weird write-up there. That one's such a lame write-up. Let's see. Top scoring players. Ryan actually had the top scoring player, Lamar, but that ended up in an L. Dave actually had the 4th highest score, but he didn't play him. That was Rashad Wright. Paul, you had the 2nd highest score. That was Jahmyr Gibbs. The most valuable bench warmers was Rashad White. Congratulations, Dave. Actually, and the second, this is so funny. The most valuable bench warmer is Rashad, who Dave had on his bench. The second best bench player was Javante, Paul, and then the 3rd highest bench player was Tank, which was me. So great. False starts.
Tank Bigsby, not Tank Dell, for those wondering.
Oh yeah, Tank Bigsby. Yeah, that's true. Cartavius Bigsby, which is his actual name. I'm not kidding, by the way. Did you know that?
That's pretty cool. That's a good name. You should go by that.
That's what I'm saying. I think Cartavius is a better name. Cartavius Bigsby. False starters. So these players were the worst starts of the week, which was Jaden Daniels, which isn't fair because he got hurt. Deebo Samuels, which isn't fair because he has pneumonia. And Tank Dell, who, he was ass. The game changer is the game changer of the week, Jahmyr Gibbs. Paul had something similar to unlimited power last week. They put up 95 points against Dave to get the victory, and they had the game changer of the week in Jahmyr Gibbs to help them get there. Their projection was only 12 points, but they were a force of nature, and you can't stop the force. A loss like this can bring someone to the dark side. So, Dave, we suggest you let the hate flow through you and use it as fuel to get the W next week. Dave is filled with hate, dude.
He's furious.
That's so fucking funny. And now we have a segment. This is called Monday Night Miracle. Can't fall asleep Monday night before you take care of business. And unfortunately for Austin, that's exactly what Zay Flowers did. Clearly, they saw the projections and thought victory was in hand, so they clocked out early. Unfortunately, they left a little too early as their 3 points handed Mike the victory. It won't be easy getting over this one, but maybe next time Zay Flowers will be a little more patient before they call it a night. Oh, that's man. Hilarious. They just called out Zay.
Because Austin woke up at like 6:30 and definitely wasn't awake for the end of it. So.
Oh man, that's so fucking funny, dude. So yeah, that's the little write up that ESPN does each week. I like that you said Ryan won too. I don't know why Ryan's acting like he's not going to win. So we're in a FanDuel fantasy league for anyone that's for the NBA. For anyone that's not aware, just started today, first week. Ryan is only like 15 points off of first place, and he has an entire game of like Kevin Durant and Lauri Markkanen and like Draymond Green. Like I think he's almost guaranteed to win. Paul, do you have anyone playing?
I don't think so. I think I'm
Yeah,
done.
you have everyone done.
Yeah.
I think
Except for Danny Avdija.
Oh,
forget his-
and then I have Marcus Smart and Norman Powell. And I guess Ryan doesn't think that Kevin Durant, Larry, and who else did I say? Kevin Durant, Laurie, and Draymond. Apparently, he
Draymond.
doesn't think they can outscore those guys by 15. So, Ryan, congratulations on winning the first week of FanDuel Fantasy. Let's get back to your no more Piscoball talk. Let's get to the real nitty gritty here. So let's check out the recent activity. It was a pretty stacked week this week, if I had to say so myself. So we'll start off on what happened after the show. Gorman picked up Drake May. We already talked about that. Great pickup. Dave picked up Bo Nix. Great pickup for last week. Paul added the Bills defense. I think they did good. 12 points. Great pickup.
Yeah.
So you were pretty much carried by Gibbs and the Bills defense.
12 points isn't that crazy.
For a defense, that's if I got 12 points from a defense, that's like getting 22 points from a normal player, in my opinion. Do you not think that way? That's how I think.
I mean,
I just want my defense. Yeah, I just want my defense to get like 6 to 8 points. So if I got 12, that would be like my player getting like 18.
I had the classic like 4 people do well, the other 4 do shit, and I still get the win. So
yeah. Dave added Kate Otten, good pickup. Dave also added Sean Tucker, Syracuse legend. Sean Tucker is pleased with his performance this week. For anyone that doesn't know, I just realized I made a reference to something that no one knows about. When Sean Tucker played for Syracuse, after every single game, he would tweet out whether or not he was pleased with his performance. Do you know what I'm talking about or no?
No, that's hilarious though.
Here, I just want to, and I love Sean Tucker so much. I loved him at Syracuse, and I used to love his tweets. I want to find like some of them because they were great. And he used to do, because he was number 34, it would be PL34SED, so it would be like pleased but with his thing.
I see it. He's still doing it with his
he just did it
in Tampa.
He did it recently because he had like a good game. But yeah, he would tweet like, Saturday we won, Syracuse 24, NC State 9. I'm pleased with the outcome of the game and how our fans rocked the dome, but we're not done. I'm pleased with my performance, but there's more that I can do. The grind never stops. 14 carries for 98 yards and a touchdown, 4 receptions for 14 yards. Saturday we lost our first game, Syracuse 21, Clemson 27. I'm not pleased with the outcome of the game. I'm pleased with the performance, but there's more that I can do. Yes, like, so every single game he'd say if he was pleased with the outcome of the game or if he was pleased with his performance in the game. It was great, dude. I loved it. And like every single time he tweeted too, people would always like tweet him back and be like, people would respond to his tweet with like a picture of his face from like his ESPN card and be like, Sean Tucker was pleased with his performance and shit like that. So yeah, Sean Tucker on a fantasy roster. I never thought I'd see the day. Mike picked up the Packers defense on Sunday and then didn't play them. He got, what the fuck? I just realized that because he played. Okay, whatever. His defense got him 1 point. The Packers got, okay, whatever. Mike also added Isaiah Likely. Nice. On Monday, Chip added the Chargers defense. Oh yeah, because they were playing that night. And then Austin changed his name to the Cardiac Kids after losing. Mike changed his name to Sorry after Austin after beating Austin. What?
I changed my name. You didn't mention it.
Where are you at?
2 down.
Oh, Chip changed his name to Better.
That's me.
Paul changed his name to Better Call Paul.
Yeah. Good old throwback.
Fuck you, Paul. Okay. And now we had a trade go down on Tuesday night. Ryan traded Devontae Smith, and Gorman traded Ryan, Nick Chubb, and DK Metcalf. Paul, do you want to give a little insight on what you think about that trade?
I love it for Ryan. Devontae Smith is piss or good. Well, I'd say, yeah, good is a good word to use it because he goes for like 12 points.
Let's go through the game log.
Yeah.
Good, great, good, good, piss.
S. Yeah. So I feel like it's more of a good or piss zone for
Hmm.
Smith. But yeah, I think Ryan pulled off a W with this. Even though DK's hurt, he got his man Chubb. It's always nice to see.
Yeah, I
And
mean
DK
this.
will be back in a couple weeks, so I mean it's not the end of the world. And Ryan's 5-2, so he can afford a couple weeks taking some waiver pickups as a starter. But
Yeah,
so yeah.
Ryan's setting himself up for the future with this one. He believes that DK can lead him to the promised land, and maybe Chubb. I don't know if that's true or not. But
Hmm.
in bigger news, because Nick Chubb has been returned to his rightful owner, everyone can rejoice. The Chubb curse is officially over.
Hmm.
I think we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to
Maybe
see.
there's going to be still be some hard feelings there from Ryan and Chubb, and they'll uh, still kind of wreak havoc. But as it looks right now, it looks like the Chubb curse might be over.
Yep.
Now let's get to waivers. Ryan changed his name to Nick Chubb Fan Club. Um, Steve added Romeo Dobbs for $14. Wow, that's a lot more than I thought it would go to. I added Jared Goff for $8. I just didn't know if anyone was looking for a quarterback, and it was $11.59. So I kind of just had to put in like a number. This was mainly because I knew that I would have to start someone during Kyler's bye, and I saw Jared Goff was playing the Jaguars on it, who were I think like the worst defense against the pass. So I was like, all right, I'll take Jared Goff. But Jared Goff has been playing well also. So if Kyler like got hurt, I'd be like, all right, that's fine. Kyle added Ricky Pearsall for $7. Dave, oh my God. Oh, Rashid Shaheed's out for the year, isn't he? That's why he dropped
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed. Dave added Steeler Nation. He added Russell Wilson. Chip added Jalen McMillan for $6. Kyle also added Keon Coleman for $5. Paul added the Chiefs defense for $4. They have good matchups coming up, don't they? Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh no, Tampa Bay. Never mind. But
Well,
they do have
Vegas
Denver.
is high,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Vegas is high, bro. Chip added Cedric Tillman for $4. That's amazing. I can't believe Cedric Tillman is on fantasy rosters. He's so fucking bad, dude. Maybe he'll be good now. Rocky Top, Tennessee legend, right?
Hell yeah.
Kyle added the Ravens defense for $2, and then the trade process, and then as for uh for offers, so Steve doubled the next highest for Romeo Dobbs. Ricky Pearsall was like a real big hot commodity here, I guess. We had a few people put in bids, but yeah, 7's the highest. No one else bid on Russell Wilson. I don't think anyone else bid on Jared Goff either. I don't know if I'll find that later on. Jalen McMillan. I also don't know. It's so tough when it's like Jalen McMillan like isn't a very good player. Cedric Tillman isn't a very good player, and Ricky Pearsall has question marks. But it's like
Yeah.
you just kind of are like, I guess they have roles now, so it's like we pick them up. Like I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
who's
threw a
gonna pan
dollar
out.
on everyone,
Yeah,
thinking
that's what
like
I
one of
did.
them would slip under the radar,
I
but
know.
no one did.
I did the same thing. I put $1 on all of these people, and I was like, I can't go
Yeah.
more than $1. That's just that. There's no way. Like I don't know. There's no differentiating between these guys. Yeah, no. And then I got none of them. So that's fucking hilarious. Let's see. I actually don't think I put a single dollar on Tillman.
Yeah, I put
thought
0.
I think I meant to put 0. I guess I didn't put any at all, but I did mean to put 0. Kyle, oh no, you already won the Chiefs at that point. Yeah, this is oh yeah, and then I put $0 on like a bunch of these fucking other wide receivers like Bateman and stuff. Fucking I don't know. Bateman caught like a 60-yard touchdown, I feel like. Yeah, I don't really trust him, but I didn't know like what would go through and what wouldn't.
Yeah.
Let's get to the matchups this week. We'll start with mine first, just because it's at the top. I think Jane Daniels might be out. If he's in, Dewey was projected like 108. And then with him out, I'm assuming he'll put Stroud in. So Dewey's going to be projected like around the same as me. I've already kind of looked at this. This is another case. So again, my tough schedule, just like I should make like a strength of schedule thing for me. That's what I should do.
We got that. Remember that website that tells us like.
Oh yeah.
We just gotta wait till the end of the year for that. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I want to know now before. Well, but even when I play Dave and Mike, I don't know. Either way, yeah, it's just no easy games. I play Dewey, and we already said he's like a 9 out of 10 team at worst. And again, it just comes down to Dewey's got good matchups, I think, against me. Because Stroud gets to play Indy. They're shit, obviously. New England's a shit defense. Now that, Belichick's gone. But even if he doesn't play him, Arizona's a shit defense. Waddle. Tampa Bay's a shit defense. Oh man, he's got Bijan and London against Tampa Bay. That's fucking scary. Yeah. Oh my god, and he has Houston against the Colts. I feel like they should be giving up more points to opposing like defenses than they are. I would have expected more of that. But yeah, I don't know like exactly who I'm gonna start at this point. I feel like every week I kind of have like 5 players that can be interchanged. Now that Ayuk's out, I guess like 4. But do you see anything, Paul, that jumps out to you?
Not really. This is once you put Stroud in, like you said, it'll be pretty much tied. So it's a coin flip for me. I can't pick a side.
I think he has a better tight end to put in. Yeah, he'll have Jake Ferguson in, so keep that in mind. So if he had Jake Ferguson and Jaden Daniels, he'd be projected like 111. But if he doesn't have Jaden Daniels and it's CJ, then yeah, he'll be projected like 104 or something.
Yeah. Why is Kincaid at 9.3?
I have no idea.
He's had one game above 9.3.
Yeah, I think
that's like same thing with Evan Ingram has that projection too, and he's had one game I think above that.
I think Seattle's like the worst team against tight ends in the NFL, but I don't think that really matters because there was another one like that.
Fucking weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still think it's a coin flip. I can't pick on this one.
Actually, you know what's really tough is Miami is the number 1 defense against quarterbacks this year. Did you know that? And I don't really know what to think about it because obviously Trevor Lawrence kind of sucks, but Josh Allen is good.
That was
Geno Smith is okay.
They were up by like 50 in the first quarter, so they stopped doing stuff.
Oh yeah, but then it's like Tennessee, Jacoby Brissett, and Anthony Richardson. So I don't really know like what to think about it at all. But that'll be probably the biggest thing. Kyler or Jared Goff. Whatever happens there. I don't know. But Kyler has a shit schedule, actually. So I don't know what the Chargers are now. So the Chargers dropped to 9th, but going into that game, they were 3rd. And then you have this week, 1st-ranked defense, 2nd-ranked defense, 5th. Oh, Jets dropped to 5th. They were 3rd. So when I looked at it like last week going into it, I was like, holy shit, Kyler goes 1, 2, 3 in pass defenses. Like back to back. What the fuck? So Kyler's schedule is just like kind of ass, which sucks. But yeah, I'm 3-4 in a must win. Dewey is 4-3. Yeah. Next matchup here we have Steve versus Chip. Right now, Steve is projected to win by 3. Let's see if the lineups are set. They look like they are. Man, Chip has to start Jalen McMillan. That's kind of tough, but there's really nothing he can do, I guess. Yeah. Anything hopping off here? I mean, I'm gonna go out and say, if I could bet on this would be a Steve -3 to me. I don't know. I feel like Steve's team is good.
Yeah, I do like Steve's team. It's just that Chip finds a way to win, or at least keep it close.
That's true. Like we have been hyping up Steve lately, and then I feel like, I mean, I know it was just this week, but I feel like we've had a couple games where like, oh, Steve wins this easily, and then he hasn't. So it's interesting. Yeah. We'll see what ends up happening.
I like the Jalen McMillan starting him, I understand it. I think he was the best waiver pickup, so he has to get at least 10 points. With no other
Mm,
person to throw at, and they throw so much, I feel like
yeah.
10 points has to be guaranteed there. So it's a good start for Chip. I think it's pretty even. Again, I can't pick. We got some close ones.
Yeah, this is close. Like this is one of those games where you look at Vegas and be like, "What? Steve's only laying 3? Like Chip just lost Chris Godwin. I'm easily taking that." But then they always know. And then Steve ends up like winning outright. Or Chip ends up winning outright. So yeah, close game. Couple potential close games already off the rip. Another one here too. Dave's team
Yeah, this is a big one.
Dave is projected 104
Yeah, he's
after
full
being
strength
projected
again.
like 80 points every week. Yeah, Dave is officially back. Everyone, watch out. They wrote Dave off. He didn't write back. He's going up against Austin, who might not have Zay Flowers. And if he doesn't have Zay Flowers, he's going to have to start Jerry Judy. Oh man, do you have a projection for this one, Paul? I'm gonna say right now, we're so hyped for this Dave team. Like we've been talking about Dave getting healthy. Everyone, has been looking forward to this. Dave getting healthy.
And Najee Harris is one thing that is surprisingly working out. Like he's looked great. So Dave's team as a whole, I think, is pretty good. And Cole Kmet's in the lineup. We love it. Love
Yeah.
to see that.
So this is one of those things where you look at it and we're gonna be like, man, Austin just lost to Mike. Dave's team is looking good. Like it kind of reminds me of the Browns sometimes. Like in years past, where it'd be like, things are looking good. Like this is a game we should win. Like we've lost some games, but this should be one we win, and then we lose. Like I'm saying I think Austin wins this one. Oh no, super close, super close again. None of these picks that I've made are with any kind of confidence. Super close, but I think that Dave is going to come in and disappoint the fans this week. Everyone's going to be, a whole world is going to be backing Dave in this one, and I think that Austin's going to sneak away with a win, and his evil plan, is gonna keep continuing.
Yeah, it could. I'm thinking if he sticks with the Browns defense against the Ravens, that's a little scary. But if he gets a regular defense in there, he'll be the same projection pretty much. So we'll have another close matchup here.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's Dave versus Austin, 2-5 versus 1-6.
Get Ryan's team up there. I got something to say I forgot to mention before. Where's he at?
Team?
Where the fuck
so he's going against you.
I play Ryan. I forgot.
Okay, so I guess we'll go to this one at 5-2 versus 5-2, East versus West, Paul versus Ryan. Paul is projected 114, so Ryan has basically no shot this week. But go ahead.
All right. So it's kind of been like a meme since the beginning, week 1. I don't know if we mentioned it. We probably have at least once on the pod, but I've always been offering Ryan Cup for Marv straight up. I just keep texting him Cup for Marv, and he's finally agreed to it. And I could have sent the trade today; it could have been accepted. But you know that feeling like when you could have something, you want something, and then like once you finally get it, you're like, I don't really want this anymore. Like that's how I felt when he was finally like, okay, let's send the trade. I was like, hold on, man, I'm getting cold feet. I can't do this now.
Oh no, the cold feet.
I got cold feet, man. I just couldn't do it. I'm such a big Cup believer, and even though he's made of glass, I still like him way more than Marv. Just in week 1 and every week since, I've just been saying that to see what Ryan says, but now he's actually on the Cup train, and now I don't want to do it, so it's just kind of funny. It worked out like that.
Yeah, that's actually great.
Yeah, so Marvin will not be on my roster, but it was fun to hear that Ryan was willing to send him over.
Oh man, he could have scammed your ass just the same way that Paul, the Chip could have scammed your ass with Lad from Mason. Oh man, that's some good stuff. Yeah, you're gonna kill Ryan this week. I'm just saying it right now. He's got Chubb in the lineup.
Yeah,
that's just a recipe for disaster.
My strategy for right now was just to put the most points in to scare everyone. I'm most certainly putting Javonte in instead of one of my running backs. Maybe one of them will be hurt. I don't know. But Javonte against Carolina, and he just had a big game. I can't keep him on the bench again.
Damn.
and he'll probably end up with 6 points. So we'll see.
Yeah. How confident are you in winning this scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say a 7. I'm feeling pretty good.
Damn, he's feeling real
With
good.
Cup back, dude, the sky's the limit. I just don't want him to
That's
get hurt.
that's a little rivalry ish going on there. A trade gone haywire, not going
Yeah.
through. Now imagine Cup gets you 2 points on Thursday night and Marv gets 30.
I
You know
feel like
what
an
sucks
idiot.
though? Like when it comes to this point, you guys are both 5-2. It doesn't matter. Like the stakes are nothing. You're like, oh fuck, or goes like I literally just have to win like 3 of my next like 6 games and I'm in the playoff. Or 3 of my next like whatever, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Either way though, I think it'll be close. Like I know you're projected to kill him. I'm actually joking about you killing him, but I think you win. But I think it'll be closer than that. Another close game going on. Now this is one I think is not going to be close. I think Gorman's projected 100, Mike 83. I tend to agree with that. I think Gorman's going to get 50 from Saquon and Derrick Henry as always, and that's probably going to be like what solely does it. Mike got his win last week. He's not getting one this week.
Yeah, I agree. Mike got his glory moment, but it's going to be short-lived. Gorman's on a hot streak, and he's probably going to put up another 120 or so.
So congratulations, Gorman, on your win. And now this is the last one we have to look at here. Another good matchup too. Nick is projected to beat Kyle 103 to 101. I'm looking at this right now. I am deciding who I think is gonna win. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be my over of the week. I think both teams are going over their team total. This is gonna be like 130 to 120. Like, I'm not kidding.
That'd be nuts. We haven't had like any of like those.
Yeah, me and
crazy
Kyle
high.
were the closest to it like this week when it was 125 to 99 because Kyle, like, if he scored like over 100, that might have been the first time someone scored over 100 and lost this year, actually. But either way,
Yeah.
can you
I
pick
don't
a
know if I
winner
can
in this
pick.
one? Both
That's what I'm
teams, I
trying to
think, are gonna
decide.
I think both teams are gonna go off. Burrow against Philly and Hurts against Cincy, like that game, they're both going to score 25. Mixon's going to score 25 against Indy. Kyron's going to score 10 against Minnesota because they have a good run defense. James Conner is going to score 15. Tony Pollard, going up against Detroit. Tony Pollard's going to get 6. Garrett Wilson is going to get 11. Amon-Ra is going to get 15. Debo is going to get... Debo's going to...
Like 10.
Yeah, I'll say 12. Tank Dell's going to get 8. Brock Bowers is going to get 15. Njoku's going to get 10. Demario Douglas is going to get 8. Ramondre Stevenson's going to get 6. The Ravens defense is going to get 12. And the Steelers defense is going to get 11. Like, these teams are...
If I had to pick, I would go with Nick on this one. Nick's team is looking pretty good. Even though no Nico... Even though he's starting Pop Douglas, we still like him.
If he had Nico, then Nick would be the de facto best team in the league.
For sure.
Like, this is Nick's year to win it all. I'm saying it right now. I'm not even like joking too. When Nico comes back, Nick is going to be the only other multiple timed winner if he ends up winning it all. It's going to be me and then Nick. Can you fucking believe that? Like,
I hope it happens.
That would be crazy.
Cheering for Nick on this one.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Lots of good matchups. Do you have a guaranteed win of the week? You can't pick Gorman over. Yeah,
that was my only one I could do.
I don't have. Okay, we're both going Gorman then. That's a cop out, but there's no other good ones for that.
Yeah, everyone else is close for the most part.
And then any over unders you like? Like I said, I'm going with Kyle and Nick's over.
Let's see here. I think I'm gonna go. Steve and Chip. I think they're both going to go over 100.
Where are they at? Steve and Chip both over 100. Yeah. All right. And then spread of the week. I'm gonna take. No, I'm not gonna do anything. I already got mine. You know what? If I had to take a spread, I'd take Ryan plus 14. I feel like he's That's just
I'd take Gorman
disrespectful.
minus 16. Gorman's gonna win by 40.
Oh my gosh, you are so confident in the man. Now there was a trade that you got today, Paul.
Oh yes, how could I forget? Austin is very open to shop talk. If anyone's curious, feel free to text him. He'll probably give up anyone, but every now and then I just check in on him, see what his thoughts are. And as of right now, like I said, his whole team's up for trade. But he sent me something that was pretty tough. It got my thinking cap on because I really didn't know what to do. He sent me, I would be giving away Josh Allen, which we'll see what I think about that in the future. I was going to be receiving Jerry Jeudy though, so it was a very tough call. Ultimately, I had to decline it. But if Jerry does pop off for 8 points this week, I might have to reconsider. So keep that in mind, Austin, if you're listening. Maybe we can try again next week.
Yeah. I feel like this was a test of your loyalty to Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah,
You failed the test.
Failed. I've dropped him twice so far this season, and I've renounced my lack of faith in him now that he is just clearly ass, even with Jameis Winston throwing the ball. So this is really the week to prove it. If he lets Cedric Tillman outscore him by 8 points again, it's gonna be ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
By the way, Ryan has officially taken the lead in the FanDuel League, and I think that's all she wrote. Because I'm going to assume that Kevin Durant is not going to just like piss his pants and get outscored by Norman Powell. I'm pissed about this FanDuel thing too. So a couple things I'm pissed about. One, Paul, I played Emmanuel quickly. He had 24 points at halftime and he got hurt and didn't come back. So didn't get any points out of him. And then even worse, so I started Brandon Clark from Memphis. But Zion was ruled out and I didn't know which New Orleans big to go with. So I didn't start either, and I just kept Brandon Clark like a moron. Brandon Clark got me 6 points, and then I think both New Orleans bigs got 30 points. So I actually would have a chance to win this week if I had played one of those because I'm at 250 also. So it's like add 24 to that. I'd be up 24 on Ryan, and he'd still have Durant and Lowry, but like I could maybe win,
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's tough. This is also going to be a real Mickey win for Ryan because he's really only on pace to score like 270, which is like a very low amount
like 330.
a low amount of FanDuel points. Yeah, I remember like when we did this in years past, each week it was like if you had to score 300 to win easily, and he's going to win with like 270, which is kind of wild.
Mickey.
Yeah, the Mickey follows him everywhere. I mean, this is unbelievable stuff.
He can't escape it.
You can't escape the Mickey, but you can't escape the Chubb curse potentially now that he's back on Ryan's team. So everyone, everyone rejoice. Everyone rejoice. Crack a beer. Look out into the sunset. Think about all of the torment that we went through for weeks, and thank the Lord that it might be gone or not. We're gonna have to find out. A lot of close matchups this week, everyone. Make sure to get those lineups set. Make sure to get those trades out. Talk shop with whoever you want. And Paul, do you have anything else to say to the fans?
No, yeah, it's just going to be a lot of close matchups this weekend, so it'll be a lot of fun. We got a good week in store, just like every other week.
Big Cavs fan, Paul. Can I get a go Cavs, Paul?
Go Lakers, Sixers, Kings, Suns, Hornets. Did I forget anyone?
You make me sick to my stomach. I think you forgot the Cavs there. I think you might have accidentally forgot the Cavs. All right. Footbap Nation.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.